Alright, hello everyone, it's Teamrocketdraws here with another Pokemon drawing tutorial. And yes guys, it's been a while, but I'm back. And unfortunately, since this is my first tutorial in so long, I do make a couple of mistakes, but I think it still comes out pretty cool. So let's get started. Alright guys, so for this video, we're going to end up drawing Lycanroc Midnight form. So as you guys can see on screen, this is how he ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw him, then let's get started. I'm also going to put up a reference right now on screen. That way it's easier for you guys to draw, and at the same time, you guys will get all your details. Alright guys, so first we're going to start off by doing this upside down triangle shape. It's kind of like a shark fin, and then a little bit higher around there, we're going to do his face. There we go. So it basically extends down from the tip at the top. There we go guys. And yeah, so I make a couple of mistakes guys. I'm gonna point them out as I go, that way you guys could do them better or not make the same mistakes that I do. Alright, so now that we have the face and his hair, part of his hair, we're gonna start by doing his body. So we're just gonna extend this line going straight down to around here, and then we're gonna do the same thing on this side. So I redo this line in just a little bit, just because I want to get the shape of his body even, the length of it, like just in general. I think it's okay here, but I do redo it. Yeah guys, so one of the things, the mistakes that I make in this video is because of the angle that I'm doing the drawing. Since I can't go over the drawing, you know, to look at it better, because if I did, then I'd be covering the camera, so I can't be doing that. So it does tend to be a little bit off. The right side is a little bit higher than the left side, so if you guys could just even it out, then that would be perfect. Alright, so now that we have that guys, we're gonna do one of the thighs. So I gotta say it's around there. And we're just gonna basically repeat the same shape on the other side. So this is where I make one of my mistakes. So a way that we could do is just do a reference line going at the top, just so we could connect it at the same spot. Actually, it looks okay right here. I don't know where I went wrong. I guess when I do the foot. So now we're just gonna connect it at the bottom right here. And looking at it right now, the right one's a little bit bigger, but it's okay. It's not something that it's not a big thing, you know. You guys can make them the same. Just take your time. Alright, so now we're gonna do this line around there to extend it, and I think this is where I went wrong. So you guys can see the right side is a little bit higher than the left side. Now we're gonna do this part of the foot, or the leg that is, and it's just gonna connect to around the middle of the thighs. Now on this side too, just try to make these the same thickness as I point out right there. And then once again, it goes into the thigh. But the left one goes like into the middle of the thigh. This one on the right doesn't. You guys can make them the same if you guys would like, but for the reference, if you guys look at it, it's like that. Alright, so now that we have that, we can start by doing the foot. And the foot is one of the hardest things that I had to do in this drawing. So right here I just do like an overall shape of the foot, and it looks really awkward because they're pointing up guys. But it changes all when you do the claws. When you add the actual claws, it fixes that, like the way that it looks. So yeah, it looks pretty funny like this guys. Alright guys, we pretty much got the whole shape of them. Now we're just gonna start by adding some of the details. So I do a line right here splitting like the face in half, and this one's gonna help us to do the ear. So the ear, like right in the middle of the ear, is like right there in the line of the face, and then the top is right there in the where the face meets the top corner. And now we could just do this like shield shape. There we go. And that's the ear guys. Alright, so from that middle line, we're gonna extend this line to around here. Just connect it. Don't press too hard because we are gonna be erasing some of these lines. And then to around here. So this is gonna give us the shape of his forehead. And now we could just do the eye and the inside. So we could start out by doing a straight line, and then we could just do a round off the bottom and do kind of like a half a circle. So since my drawing is pretty small guys, it's really hard to see, or just to make those small details a little bit better. So now around here guys, we're gonna extend that part and basically do this triangle shape at the bottom, and this is basically his snout and his nose. We could work on that a little bit later, guys. Right now we're just trying to get the overall shape of him, and then we'll pay attention to the details later on. Alright, so we're gonna extend this line right here. This is gonna be his arm. No, it's not gonna be his arm. This is gonna be the inside of him, like on his body. Now we're gonna do another one over here. And on the reference, it meets a little bit more to the right of him, but like I said, it wasn't gonna be exactly like the reference, so just try to do your best right there. We could always change that later on. Alright, so now we're gonna add this small hair that's sticking out, and we're just gonna connect it to this side. So the top, it goes a little bit higher, and then it just starts curving. So it might take you guys a couple tries just to work with this shape. So awkward shape to do. There we go. And slowly he's starting to take shape. Alright, so now we're gonna, the same middle line that we did for the face, we're just gonna extend that, and we're gonna use that, and it goes as far as the knees go, as a point out right there. But this is where I make one of my mistakes, that the one on the right, I make it a lot smaller. So we're gonna use this to make like his hairs that are sticking out on the side of his face. So they're basically triangle shapes. And the same thing on this side. So this is where I make one of my mistakes, guys. This one is, the one on the right is a lot smaller than the one on the left. So just try to make them the same size. We could erase some of these lines that are going through the middle. We don't need them no more. Alright, so now around here we're gonna do this line that meets up around right here on his hair, and this is gonna be his arm, one side of his arm. Now to do the other side, it's a little bit thinner than the actual thickness of his feet, so that's why I pointed it out right there. And then around here it kind of curves up. This is where the shoulder is, I mean the elbow. And right here it's a little bit awkward, guys. I do change it later on, just so it's not so stiff. It looks, you know, because it looks pretty weird. Alright, so this line right here that we did for the body, right here that I'm going over, is one side of his arm. So now we're gonna do the other one, and just try to make it the same, once again, the same thickness as the other arm. And right here I make the right one a little bit thicker than the one on the left. I do change that in just a little bit. And now that we have that, we could just do this reference line going at the bottom right here, and this reference line is just gonna help us know how far to do the hands. So now for the hands, it's one of those shapes that it's not gonna be easy, guys. You guys might have trouble with the hands, but just try your best. It's kind of like this onion shape. I don't know, it's a weird shape that I really can't explain. Just try your best, guys. If it doesn't come out, you guys, like mine, you guys could always just try to do like your own, you know. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now for this one has some like sharper lines. And if you guys notice, they're almost the same size, although the one on the left is a lot bigger, but they're close to the same size. So now that we have that, we could just erase. This is where I noticed that this arm is a lot thicker, so I do thin it out a little bit. There we go. Now we could erase some of these reference lines that are going through the arms, because it does tend to get a little bit confusing with so many lines. Alright, so now for the rest of his hair that's sticking out. So one sticks out around here, and it's like right in the middle of the triangle shape that hair has. The same thing on this side. So we're basically making them, mirroring them on either side. Now the same thing for the top, and this one meets up with the ear. If you guys notice on the reference, The ear is a little bit higher, but like I said, it doesn't have to be like the reference, so I think just doing it like that looks okay. Now the same thing on that side. And now that we have that, we could actually, I think, add the ear. So we could just do a line, a reference line going from the bottom of the ear all the way to the other side of the face, and then the same thing at the top, just so we could get like the ear on the right place, like on the same level. There, just pointing out that they should roughly be the same size. Right here, I'm just trying to do the shapes right, guys. I'm looking at the reference, trying to see if I missed something. Alright, so now that we have that, we're going to start by doing the back of his hair. So right in the middle of his head, we're just going to do this curved line. And then on the side of it, around here, basically like where the ear is, we're just going to curve it and make this shark shape or shark fin. Now we're going to do another one. This one doesn't go that high. This one's a little bit shorter than the other one. But now we're going to start off the other one. So around the same level as the ear. And then it should meet up down here. So we could just connect them. This might be a little bit awkward, guys, for you guys, because this is something that I do, like personally. That's how I find it easier, but doesn't mean it's easier for other people. So just try your best in this area if you guys can't follow the way I do it here. Now on this side, it's around here, and it curves and it basically connects to the other one. Once again, it's kind of like a shark fin. Now on the other side, the same thing. It's almost like a straight line, and then it meets around here. There we go. And just by adding that, guys, we're starting to see Lycanroc a little bit better. And probably I'm pronouncing it wrong. You guys are going to correct me. I'm sorry. Alright, so now for some of the small details around here, like right where the nose is, he has these like triangle shapes, which I guess they're like kind of like his claws. So these are like two claws, and they meet up with that line, so it just works out. So now we're just gonna extend them and curve them, and I go over the shoulder or over the arm just so I can know that it's gonna meet up right on the other side. Now the same thing on the other side, like right at the same level. We're gonna add the other ones. Right here I'm adding like the little fur that's sticking out on his chest. Alright, so now for the details right here on one of his around the knee area. Just gonna go like this. It might take you guys a couple of tries, but just try your best. Now it does show a little bit. Just make sure that it comes out on the right like area. Now on this side, this one is a little bit harder just because it's a really awkward shape. And right here, the knee on the right side is actually round, but if you guys look at the reference, it's not round. It has more of a like a flat line, like right at the end right here where I'm doing it. So I do fix that in just a little bit. Right now, like I said, we're just trying to get an overall shape of Lycanroc, and we could work on the details a little bit later on. Alright, so now for his like the tip of his hair. So around here where the eye is, we're just gonna do this line, and once again it's kind of like a triangle shape. Meets around here, and these are basically the same level, so we could just do that. There we go. Alright, so I guess we're gonna start right now on one of the hands. So we're just gonna extend this part, which is gonna be like one of his fingers, and it just goes in and then up. So this one's pretty big. Now that we have that, we could add one of the claws. And now there's another claw on the other side. So right here I just extend like the finger a little bit, and then I add the claw. And then we could see the line of one of his fingers. Alright, so now for this side. So this side we're just trying to get the shape of his fingers, which is basically like a round shape. And we're just going to use the shape that we did for the hands, just so we can know where to basically place these fingers. Like I said before, this is probably going to be one of the hardest spots or areas to do, just because there's no easy way to show you guys how to draw them. Now that we have that, we could add the feet, and the feet were the hardest things, guys. I think is the only thing I had trouble with that didn't come out good. I don't like how they look. They ended up looking like, but what could I do? And once again, it's just triangle shapes like cones. Yeah, so this is where this one looks a little bit higher than the other one, guys. And now the same thing here. Just try to do these cone shapes, and try to do them the same size as on the other foot, as I pointed out right there. There we go. They're not that bad. I think they are bad, guys, but they're not that bad. Like, it's not something that is like really bad, you know what I mean? But I know I didn't do them that great. I was having trouble with them, and I just decided just to keep going with it. So now, right now I'm just paying attention to the details that he has. I'm looking at my reference. You guys might see me pressing, trying to make the image a little bit bigger on some areas, just so I can see the small details. And something that I noticed is that this line doesn't connect, so we can start erasing some of these lines. It just makes it a little bit easier on the eyes. Alright, so this is where we do the other side of his ribs, like not the ribs, but like those claws that are going surrounding his body. So we could erase that middle line going down. It doesn't have it. And on this side we could see like the end of the claws. I'm not sure if they're claws. I'm not that familiar with Lycanroc at all, so I haven't seen the anime either, so I'm sorry if I'm not too familiar with his features. Alright, so right here I'm just looking at it, trying to make some of the areas a little bit better. This is where I started erasing some of the lines. So just look at the reference, guys, get a better look at it, and get an idea of what he doesn't have that we did for the drawing. So some of those reference lines, some of these lines that connect, that don't connect on the actual reference. And then, for example, the shape of the knee right here, which is not round, so I do change that a little bit, and I end up making it bigger, which is really noticeable, way more than before. So that's another mistake that I do, that probably that I want to point out, so you guys won't do the same. And then the lines doesn't connect right there, so I could just erase that line. So it's just small things like this, guys, that it's just worth looking at the reference. That's why I have it up there, just to make it a little bit easier. And if you guys see things that I missed, then even better. So right here I'm just erasing some of those extra lines, like I said. And overall, guys, I think it came out pretty good. Like I said, I haven't done a Pokemon drawing in so long, other than the Pokefusion that I did last week, but it's not the same. I haven't done a tutorial in over 3 months, which is a long time, guys. I've drawn, but I haven't really drawn Pokemon. So I'm sorry if this one's a little bit rough, this tutorial's a little bit rough, if it's a little bit I don't know, guys, I don't know how to explain it, but I will be getting better as I go, because I'll get used to doing the drawings once again, the tutorials, planning it out a little bit better. But hopefully this tutorial was helpful enough that you guys could get a close sketch of them, and then you guys could just look at the reference and just finish them off and do them a lot better. But like I said, I do point out some of my mistakes. For example, the ear, not the ears, like the hairs that are sticking out on the side of his face. I do one side a little bit smaller than the other. You guys are gonna see that a lot more noticeable once I paint him, color him, I mean. And see, like for example right here, the arm looked a little bit too weird, like just the angle of it where it curves. I didn't like how that looks, and it still looks a little bit weird, but I think it looks better than the way I had it before. So that's basically what I'm doing, guys, just erasing some of these lines. So you guys could either just follow me as I go, or you guys could just look at the reference and look at your drawing and just do all that by yourself. Another line that it doesn't have is the one going down, yeah, right here, that I erased right now. Going down his ear. He does have one right here though, like this. And see, guys, just erasing some of those lines, just adding small details, it basically makes the whole drawing. Look at that, like compared now to like 20 seconds ago, it's like a big difference, just because we erased some of those lines and we added a couple more lines, like details, and it just basically changes the whole drawing completely. So always pay attention to the small details, guys, because sometimes that's what makes the drawing. Oh, and another thing that we did forgot, guys, that I'm looking at right now, that hopefully I did do on the video, or right now in just a little bit, is the shape on his forehead. Hopefully I do it right now, I don't remember. So we could erase that line right there that connects the snout, and I do it right now. Alright, so around there it curves back up and it does this like triangle shape, and then it connects to the side of his face right there, and it just curves, and that just makes it look a lot better, to be honest, just erasing some of those lines that he had. And I think we're pretty much done, guys. Now just try to go over your drawing and make your changes. Right here I add the line for his eye. He has like one line that goes that follows the line, the shape of his eye, and then he has a smaller one right in the middle. Alright, guys, so I end up outlining my sketch in a pen. So this is how it does look. Like I said, this is where you guys could tell that the right side, like the hair that's sticking out his right side of the face, is a lot smaller than it is on the left. So that's something that just remember to check on your drawing. Don't make the same mistake that I do. It's not a big mistake, it's not something that's really noticeable, but it's something that I noticed once I finished my drawing. So right here I'm just coloring him with my Copics and my Prisma Premier color markers. I used two different reds. I use this like darker red, and then just a regular one for the body, and just use the darker one for shadows, and then the regular one just for the rest of them. And then I use my Prisma colors for my gray shadows, for some of his features, the shadows. And overall I think it came out pretty good, guys. I think I was close enough to the reference where it looks okay. Like if you guys look at it without looking at the reference, it still looks like Lycanroc Midnight. So that's the whole point. Hopefully this tutorial was helpful, guys. Like I said before, I'm really sorry if some areas are harder than others. For example, on the feet. Also, I worked a little bit on the feet. Oh, and look at that. That looks, oh, that doesn't look good. I'm barely noticing it right now, guys. On the left, on his left leg, look at the bottom of his leg. It curves. It kind of looks like it's broken. It just looks all wrong, but It's still okay, guys. It's something that I didn't notice when I was coloring them or when I did the outline, but it's okay. You guys could fix yours and just try not to make the same mistakes that I did. And overall, I think it came out okay, guys. This is not something that was for me, it's for you guys. So my mistakes, I'm gonna point them out so you guys won't make them. So what matters is how your drawing comes out, not how mine comes out. As long as mine's helpful, then I did my job, I guess you could say, although this is not my job. But yeah, guys, so I just want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe for more videos. If this video was not helpful in any way, I'm really sorry. You guys could always look up other videos on how to draw Lycanroc Midnight. I'm pretty sure there's other tutorials out there, so hopefully one of those might help you. If it did, let me know in the comment section below how it came out. If you guys need any help, I could always reply to your messages, so don't forget to leave a comment. And I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next video. Team Rocket Draws out.